Morning, Mark from the Lawnologist, here for another renovation in a lovely little village in Belsham St Paul, which is just on the North Essex Suffolk border. Interesting start to today. We had a pilot error from Simon. We come in convoy. I was in the pickup truck, Simon's in the van. I come to site, Simon goes the other side of the county. So we're running behind this morning. Simon knows he's been a bad boy, and that results in a cake fine. But nevertheless, let me show you the lawn we're working on today, because should be, fingers crossed, a fairly straightforward one. Nice and square, it's 500 square metres, half the area of the whole lawn. We've got Johnny mowing already, Simon hopefully going on the contraflow system now he's here. Let's just have a little look and see where we're at. So here we go, pretty much the same story as most lawns from the drought last year. It really suffered quite badly. We managed to do a fairly decent job of bringing this back just by some good organic feeds and some weed control. But, and whether you can see or not, it really is quite thatchy down below there. So we're just taking the tips off. The client has kindly mowed for us first just to allow us to start expeditiously this morning. We're taking the tips off. We'll then go on the diagonal cut just to try and stand up lateral growth and cut that a bit shorter. And then we'll start hitting this with the scarifier. We're only doing half this lawn from this line here onwards today. The back end is going to be left by the client to be a bit more natural, but you want something a bit more formal on this end. So we'll scarify it heavily, and then we'll work on a probably a Pro 70% ryegrass, 30% fescue grass mix, which is blending this lawn quite nicely. It's mainly fescue and rye already with a little bit of creep and bent grass. But yeah, I'm going to stick you on time lapse and let's just see how this project transforms. And there's Simon. You can see Simon's walking faster than he normally would, simply because he's got time to make up, because he's been a very naughty boy. Right guys, so just a quick update really. This lawn is going fairly well. Different to the last two big ones we've done, in as much as there's hardly any bent grass in this, where the other two had lots of bent grass, lots of lateral growth. So the thatch I've got is more fescue and moss, which is quite nice. But it's coming up nicely. We've got the two scarifiers on the job at the moment with Johnny and Simon. What we like to do is mow, scarify, because it helps us thin out and bring down at the same time without putting too much stress on the machinery and too much stress on the chaps, but it is going pretty well. I actually expect this lawn to make a lovely recovery simply because the soil's good and the grass is good. However, there is one issue that I've discovered since I've arrived. One is grubs. There seems to be a few grubs in the lawn. Not concerning levels, but something to monitor for the client. And the other thing is there's lots of ant hills. The lawn's far more undulated now than it was when I first came. Now, of course, that is the ants coming up and doing their thing and then buggering off again. But there's a lot of little dead patches around these ant hills. That's because ants release a type of formic acid that can cause problems with grass. So what I'm hoping is as we're scarifying, we're actually going to start shaving the tops off of these ant hills and give this lawn a little bit more of a level appearance than it had when we first started. So I'm going to pop you back on a time lapse. You can watch us scarify and rake and blow the debris away, and then I'll be back very shortly for another update. So, first pass complete. Now on the second mow to try and get rid of that, what's left of that lateral growth and to tidy up the lawn again. Then we'll scarify again. A couple of things I'll point out to you in a bit is we've got a few patches to seed, but they're highly compacted. So what it means is aeration and scarification is not going to be enough. We're going to actually have to agitate that soil to make sure we get good seed covered by the soil. Otherwise, if it rains after we seed this, it's going to get washed away. It'll be fairly futile. So it's all going well. Starting to look tidy on that side. Still need to tidy up this side. I want to stick you back on a time lapse. I'm going to crack on. Adios. Right, so very quickly, just a key point. This area needs seeding as part of the renovation. However, this had some sort of structure on here that's really compacted the soil. Now we know that if we just put seed on this and then top dress it, as soon as a slight bit of moisture hits it, as in heavy rain or something like that, we're going to get seed dissipation. So the key thing here is just to agitate the soil so we've got tiny channels for the seed to sit in. So I've got my scarifying rake and I'm literally just agitating the top surface of the soil. This creates tiny little channels for the seed to sit in. We'll sprinkle the seed there, we'll press it in and we'll top dress it as normal, and we've got a better chance with a better germination rate and less patches. Little tip for you there. So now we're going to start scarifying for the second pass. We're going to 45-degree angle. Ignore this line along here, that's me. I made a mistake. I broke my golden rule. I did a 90-degree angle, so we've stopped. We're going to start again. We're going to go 45 degrees. The reason we do that is because it protects the root zone and stops us chopping up the roots like parsley. So stand by, back on the time lapse. Johnny's going to start scarifying. I'm going to find something else to do. So that's the second pass of the scarification complete. As you can see, there's still lots of thatch come out of this lawn. We're going to mow it down another notch now to try and open up the soil a little bit to allow for another pass of the scarifier, just to pull out what's left of the debris in the thatch. And thatch has been a big issue for this lawn. Think about thatch like a thatched cottage. Nothing gets in, i.e. rain, hydration. Nothing gets out, i.e. heat and oxygen, so nothing can breathe. And the key to a good lawn is as much as what you do with the soil as what it is you do with the grass. So by scarifying and opening up and getting down to the soil level again, we're kind of giving this lawn a chance to replenish in a healthier fashion than we do ordinarily this time of year. So very shortly, we're going to mow again, take it down a notch, scarify one more time, then we'll be in a position to aerate, and we'll do that in a herringbone fashion with fracture tines. The fracture tines will go in about 3 or 4 inches, and as they come back out, they'll decompact the root zone without pulling plugs out, and this allows for a better gases exchange, better water exchange, and will kickstart the microbiome underneath. So we're doing everything we can to make sure this lawn bounces back better than ever before. So I'm going to pop you back on the time lapse, I'm going to crack on, and we'll have a chat again in a minute. So third pass, as you can see, the left is coming out. Hopefully this will be the final pass. I want to mow it down a notch further, really open up the soil, then we'll be ready to aerate. So I'm going to put you back on time lapse very quickly. You can watch Simon and Johnny do their thing, and then we'll be aerating. So, scarification is complete. We're now on the final cut, taking it down a notch. We are putting stripes into the lawn, but for no real reason other than it looks nice, because we're going to aerate in a minute, and that will be in a herringbone fashion. Herringbone being up and down, and then a 45-degree angle, so we get thousands of holes in this lawn to create the perfect seed bed. After that, it'll be a case of just levelling out a few bits where we're seeding, the bare bits that our clients prepared for us, and then we should be top dressing with brine, and the job will be done, finally finished off with a spray of seaweed and biostimulants and wetting agents to ensure that this lawn has the best chance of recovery as quick as possible. So back on the time lapse for the final bit, and off we go. So, final stint now, we've aerated, herringbone, we've seeded. We're now just going to top dress with brine, our power top dresser, finish off with a wetting agent and seaweed, and that is the renovation complete. So, this is Mark, Johnny and Simon signing off. Adios. Catch you again.